It's Kindo, and today we're back with another tutorial. This time the last of the bass series for now, and the trickiest bass in my opinion, the OD bass. So there's a couple ways that you can do it. There's the original OD bass, there's the kind of sounds like a frog. There's the way you can hold it, and then there's the inward one. I don't know if that's an inward OD bass, but it sounds like it if you do them together. Like, so maybe that's it. I don't know, but I'm gonna teach all three. So hope you guys enjoy this. Make sure you subscribe. I post tutorials every week. There's a bunch of new stuff coming out. There's a huge announcement on Friday, and there's a ginormous event on Saturday that I'm kind of throwing together, but you need to check out Friday first. So just make sure you guys are staying up to date this week. Got some big stuff coming out. Hope you guys enjoy this. Enough of me explaining all my stuff and plugging stuff. But yeah, here we go. On to the tutorial. Jeez, I can't talk. So we'll start with the OD bass, and it's going to be a little bit of an explanation. So the tricky thing with this all three of these is that you're using your tongue to make like the sound, if that makes sense, but the actual control and how you pitch it and everything, I feel like it comes from your throat. For me, that's the trickiest thing, because when I was trying to learn OD bass, I would watch people use like their tongue, but the throat would like move, and I was like, well, how are they doing that, right? And I don't have like a defined neck, but if you look real close in the center here when I do it, like, I don't know if you guys can like see it, but it moves. It goes, what? It's super weird. So it's a trippy sound. But yeah, it doesn't make sense. So the best way that I could say to work on this would be to start with lip oscillations. And I know that sounds really weird, but just stick with me on this tutorial. And 90% of I'd say like 95% of my beatbox students, I teach them all this method. It works. Okay. So this is going to be a little weird at first, but just stick with me. Okay. So we're just going to start with a lip oscillation. Make sure it is not like B art high pitched. I can't even do it that high, but like, you know how he does like the, don't like, no, relax your face. Just relax it and get a nice relaxed lip oscillation. That was the first step. Just get that. First step, okay? Once you can do that, now I want you to take a nice breath in and control the lip oscillation. So, keeping it very relaxed in your cheeks. Don't tighten anything. Don't like, no, just keep everything very, very, very relaxed. Just, if you got that, we're doing good, okay? Step 3. Now, if you notice when you're doing the first step, and then when you're holding it, it's really not hard, right? Like, yeah, even if you take a big breath, like, it's not hard, right? It's really not hard to get your lips to just flap and relax, okay? The tricky part with this is going to be pushing it. So now, when you're doing this, it's kind of like your air is just like outwards, right? Like, it's not a lot of air, okay? So this time, imagine taking a big breath in and a big breath out, right? Okay? But with that lip oscillation, so. When you hear how it goes like, when it gets all low, that is hollowing out your throat, okay? Even if you get your lips like super horse lip flappy and that's fine. That is perfect. That's better. The more hollow you can get this lip oscillation, the better your OD bass is going to work. I promise you, okay? And I know this is really tricky, but I promise, just stick with me. So here we go. So, and you're going to push that air out, right? Now here's one of two things are going to happen. You're either going to get like what mine's happening. You're going to get this hollow thing. So you're going to get this. You're going to get that sound, Or you're going to get this. And it's going to sound like you're just turning the volume up on your lip oscillations, right? It just sounds like... If you're getting that, that means that you're pushing the air out, which is great, but you're also keeping your lips a little too tight. You're trying to focus too much on the pitch of the lip oscillation right now. Don't worry about your lip oscillation. Just relax your face. You just want your lips flapping, okay? It's not even really a lip oscillation because we're not trying to go for a certain pitch or sound with it. We're just trying to get our face to and just relax, okay? So push that air out, but as you push that air out, do not tighten. So everything should just be relaxed. It should not like nothing. Everything should just very relaxed. Keep everything relaxed and just okay. If you can get that, we're doing great. Now, since if you can do that, now you can go from lip oscillation to hollow lip oscillation, right? Practice switching. So you can hear that it hollows out. That's all throat control. Now this is why I know that was a lot, okay? I know you guys are like, what? This is an OD bass, okay? The reason why I teach all of that first, and this has worked, like I said, for all my beatbox students. Reason why is because you feel that throat feeling when you're switching from lip oscillation to hollow, that it almost feels like you're going type of thing in your throat. And if you really get it down, you can control it and do that. And you can do you can do patterns with it and stuff too. That's another thing. Experiment with lip oscillations and hollow lip oscillations. You can just saying, side note. But anyways, so you know that feeling, like I was saying, you can you have it and then you kind of feel that you feel, it sounds weird to say, but everything opens, right? It's like you can literally feel everything open. You can feel when you do it takes more air. Everything's more open. There's more airflow, if that makes sense, right? You're going to do the same thing with tongue bass. So you know how we roll our tongue and, or people sometimes do tongue bass and, or if you can do any of those, that is tongue bass, okay? So you just, whatever your tongue bass sounds like, you need tongue bass for this. If you can't do tongue bass, I do have a tutorial on it. Just saying. Just saying. I'll put it in the description. How about that? If you don't know tongue bass, I'll throw the tongue bass tutorial in the description below. So check that out if you don't know it. Super easy. If you don't know how to roll your R's, I kind of explained it in that tutorial too. Kind of. But if you can't roll your R's, I'm really sorry. That's like the one thing really hard to teach. But yeah, so tongue bass for this, okay? So go back to lip oscillations. Switch it to tongue bass. Yes, now think about it. If you're doing lips, right? This is closed. Now you're doing tongue bass. Everything's more open, okay? This one is going to take more air than doing the hollow lip oscillation. You're literally, OD bass is like a hollowed tongue bass in a sense, okay? Because if I go, right? If I go, like you can hear it, it's the same thing in a sense. One's hollowed, one's regular, right? So same thing, like I said, we go lip oscillation, hollow, just do it like an O, mouth-shaped O tongue bass, or sorry, and then you're gonna do that same, that push feeling, you're getting that open feeling in your throat. And like I said, it takes more air. So okay, you can see my head's kind of moving. I'm not like intentionally trying to look cool and like I'm not trying to do that. It's just for me personally, because the way the throat is, and I'm still working, for me and personally, I'm still working on the sound. For me, it kind of naturally just moves that way because the way the throat's going, okay? So just okay. Another trick if this one's really tricky, like I said from the beginning, it's a really tricky bass. It's the trickiest one in my opinion. Another tip that I could give is, when you're doing tongue bass, like I said, do an O. Try going from an O to an E, or even an E to an O. Okay? And as you do that that open feeling you're doing on your lip oscillations. Okay? So that same thing that feeling, same thing. Like if you listen, it almost sounds like E-O, right? I'm going E-O, almost. Same thing. You can hear right at the end it starts to hollow out. If you can focus on keeping that throat pushed and just keep tongue basing, that's OD bass. Once you do that, you just have to smile. You literally just have to smile. Okay, so that is OD bass, and I know that was a really long explanation. I'm so sorry. Some of you guys are like, what? Okay, really sorry about that. This one's so tricky to explain, but it's simple if you practice really getting that lip oscillation, getting the feeling of the throat, controlling that completely, switch that to tongue bass, add more air, you are golden and you are set to go. Like I said, all my beatbox students, they've all gone through it. They'll work on it and they'll hit me up in like a week. They're like, Kindo, like I can get the but I can't do OD bass. I'm like, well, dude, you got that, but you haven't controlled it, like mastered it. You gotta, not mastered, but you have to get a good hang and a good understanding and feeling of what your throat is doing and what you are feeling. Okay, before you just like, oh, I got it. It's gonna be a really tricky one. Okay, so like I said, lip oscillation, hollow it out, right? Tongue bass, hollow it out with way more air. Practice trying going E to O or O to E. Right? You can hear it at the end. It gets that like tongue bass. You can hear there's that hollow. You can hear it, right? It's a lot of breath practice and a lot of throat practice. It is not, like I said, it's not gonna just hit like that. It's getting that throat control. It really is. The tongue is not the hard part. It's really just the throat control of, right? So hope that helps. That's OD bass. Onto the breath and the kind of controlled one that I was doing. Okay, it's the same thing, same concept of the that we're working on. All you have to do, and it's the same thing, but like even more. So you guys really have to practice your breath, your breathing, and your lungs on this. Maybe I have certain breathing warm-ups that I do. If you guys want to see those, like if you guys want me to make a tutorial on how to build up your lung power and how to get louder with your sounds, let me know. Leave a comment. Maybe I'll make a tutorial on that. But I practice my breathing a lot, so that's why for me I can do it with my tongue, which already takes a lot of air, and I can just hold it and right? It takes a lot of air at first. You will be lightheaded too. Okay, so be careful with the sound. Don't pass out and run into a wall. You don't want to do that. Okay, just be very careful with the sound. But yes, it is practically the same thing you've been doing. So, and I told you, like, it's kind of like lip oscillation, right? Takes air. OD bass takes more air. The controlled version is even more, it's even more push. It's like I said, it's even more, okay? This one takes a while. So practice OD bass. Once you get a good feel of OD bass and you're able to just kind of, right? Once you kind of start getting that, now try to like take a breath with it and try to extend it. That's all it really is. It's the same thing, but just pushing even more with the breath, okay? From there, this is the last one. The inward OD bass / weird, I don't know what to call this. Yeah. So it's OD bass in a sense, like, right? But this one's like what I kind of just told you about the controlled OD bass. You know, I told you it takes more breath. This one's like opposite. So this one, like, it's inward, so you don't have to like and like inhale super hard. But remember I was telling you about the throat control and that push? This one's more, for me personally, maybe I'm wrong. For me and my throat, I feel it push harder. Like when I go back and forth, I'm like, I can feel when I do that one, and you can kind of see it. You can see my neck, everything tightens up a little bit more because it's more push, okay? So the best way I practice this, get that controlled OD bass down first and make sure that tongue, don't push it hard, obviously, because you don't want to turn it to tongue bass and you don't want to do that, but keep it with some really good pressure, right? And then just try to breathe that in. Don't change your mouth, don't change your tongue, just switch your breath. So you're out and then in, okay? Even if you do it with a smiley face. Right? So that is the best way I would say to practice that one. Out of the three of them, that last one is the hardest one. Okay? It definitely is. I just, for me, it was getting, like I said, for me, my biggest, like, I guess, weakness is throat control. I have really good breath control. I have decently clean sounds, but getting my throat to just how some people get it to just hollow out like that, that is nuts to me. I'm still working on it. So some people may get this really quick. Some people may be like me, and it may take you a while. This literally, for me to get OD bass, little story behind it, took me 2 years. I was trying to figure it out, couldn't figure it out. I watched every tutorial, every single one was like, push your throat. I was like, this makes no sense. And then I met Nemesis at the LA Battles in 2016. So shout out to Nemesis. Miss you, dude, and hope everything's doing good. But saw Nemesis. He's one of the OD bass masters, and he was like 16 at the time, killing it with OD bass. And I was just like, how? How? So I asked him, I was like, how are you doing this? He's like, bro, you can do, and he's like, you can do this. I know you can do, I was like, bro, I can't do this. He's like, do a lip oscillation. So I was like, pfft. He's like, can you hollow that? I was like, pfft. He's like, then you can hollow out your tongue bass. And I was like, pfft. He's like, dude. And I was like, oh. So that's why I explain it this way, and I teach you guys through that whole lip oscillation method. That's why I went through that whole thing. I know it was a ton, but I hope this guy's, oh my gosh, I can't talk. It was a long tutorial, sorry. But I hope this guy, oh my gosh, I still can't talk. All right, I had to rewind because your boy was stuttering way too much. But yeah, what I was trying to say was I hope this tutorial helped you guys. It's a really tricky sound. And then figuring out all three variations is going to be even more. And then on top of that, you got people like Villain and all these other guys who can do OD bass like on their lips. And there's so much to this sound, okay? So it really takes some time to practice. It really takes some time to get down. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this whole bass series. That was the final bass series tutorial for now. If I figure out more bass, or if I figure out a new bass, or if I figure out something in the future, if I figure out bassy, bass-ish type of stuff, I will put it and I will add it. You know what I'm saying? We'll kind of re-continue the bass series. But for now, we're done. Tomorrow, we start with the sound effects series. So now we're going to get into some fun stuff. Sit effect scratches, hi-hat runs, duck trap hi-hats, what else? Lip rolls, zippers, seconds. There's hand sounds. There's so much that we'll be getting into. So yeah, keep an eye out for tomorrow. We start the sound effects series. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. And keep an eye out for Friday, because Friday there's a huge announcement. And then Friday's also going to tell you guys what's going down on Saturday. So just keep an eye out this week for this channel. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. And I'll see you tomorrow.